All right. Good morning, party people.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome to the Pour Over, our Saturday morning or sometimes Sunday morning show, previewing the weekend matches, mostly Premier League, over a couple of nice brews. Apparently, this morning, Aaron is sponsored by Dunkin', although we won't ask him how his morning has gone so far.
Like I said, it was good up until that last turn.
The coffee carrier did not do its job.
No. Duncan's skimping on the carriers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as we begin this show, it is currently scoreless in the 7:30 kickoff in the second minute of first half stoppage time between Brentford and Fulham. So aside from that, how has our week been going?
Up and down, busy as hell.
Yeah, good.
Up
Busy.
and down.
Yeah, busy.
It's getting warmer, so the weather is getting nicer.
I'm loving it.
We can't wait for 40 degrees on Monday.
I know. Mid 40s.
I'm excited about that.
I'm not.
Listen,
Give me the heat.
if it could stay between 50 and 60
Nice.
all year round, I'd be fine.
No, give me like 75, a slight breeze.
You want to move to San Diego? Then,
Maybe I
San
should.
Diego is the dream now.
Maybe I should.
Santiago.
Go to the left coast.
Hey, everything named Diego is good, right? What can I say?
That remains to be seen. So how was it's been busy here in the tap room. We had the third anniversary of our weekly run club.
Yeah.
We had plenty of parties, a fundraising karaoke night.
Yep.
Naz and I went with Erin E Squared.
Nope.
Yeah.
To the Westchester SC against NYCFC U.S. Open Cup match.
It was a good match, I heard.
5-2 victory for NYCFC. That was actually the first, and we'll talk about this more on A Soccer Fan Walks into a Bar on Monday, but that was my first away game
Oh, no way.
for NYCFC ever.
NYCFC.
Well, no, I take it back. I'm sorry. I've been to one derby at Red Bull Arena.
The other okay.
So...
But this was like fully away.
But this was
not in the city.
tickets through the club.
Yeah.
We were in the away supporter section. A little bit rowdy. I mean, nothing like nothing over the top. The rowdiest part, and Naz can attest to this. Right in front of us, there were two NYCFC fans that were beefing for whatever reason.
Yeah, it was the same. Well, no, it was the same fan twice.
It was
He had
friendly
two instances.
fire.
Yeah, and it was funny because they all came together. Like they were all hanging out together.
Oh, no way.
So it was like the same guy. Like okay, now you have to leave together. Like,
Right, and then this one guy is like trying to be the voice of reason, like no, like this is why he's mad, like, and
just like explains it or no? I bet
I'm
you
sure alcohol was involved.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the mediator caught the worst of it on the way home.
Yeah.
We got to see.
And then there was another guy literally standing like arms behind his back, just like
Security style?
just like.
waiting.
What are we doing here? Like, why is this a thing? So
we almost saw a fire. That was another
thing. So the way the stadium is set up is such that there's probably a 50, 60 foot hill on the opposite side, because the stadium is only one stand. So on the opposite angle is a hill and then like a residential neighborhood.
And
they were sitting.
They dropped it.
They were sitting. That was thrown, definitely, because it was a tall fence, and it got thrown over. And then one of the security guards, maybe the most athletic thing I saw all night, including the match, this one security guard jumped like 4 fences to climb the hill to put out
to stomp it out,
to stomp out the flare. But no, it was great. It was great. Got to meet the head brewer for Yonkers Brewing, one of our Dana distributors' friends.
Nice.
So. He bought us a round of beers, which was very welcome. We had birria tacos, which was
delicious,
magnifique.
You got a picture with
yeah. So, and this is the beauty of the Open Cup, and same with the FA Cup. Like you see these, big teams, MLS or Premier League teams going into 5th division, 6th division stadiums. So I'm with Aaron and Aaron. We had just gotten our duck donuts.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, let's go. You know, we're still super early. I'm like, let's go check out, our seats. Let's see, where we're at, how it looks from up top. And there's an open door to like what looks like a restroom. And I see like a couple kids lined up taking pictures. And I turn my head and I'm like, what's going on
What's
here?
happening?
It's the head coach for NYCFC, just like hanging out. So it must have been their dressing room.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
coming out.
so I'm like, Aaron, not Aaron. Aaron, I'm like, here's my phone. Like,
I'll take a phone.
and I'm like, Pascal, like, can I take a picture real quick? He's like, yeah, sure. Like, super nice. Like,
Nice.
He's so far this season, all of my interactions with the club, as you know, you met
Have
him
been
too.
good, yeah.
Todd Donovan, the sporting director, last week or 2 weeks ago now, I guess that is. And now, bumping into Pascal. Obviously, when you're playing a quote unquote lower level team, you can be a little bit more easygoing and
Relaxed.
jovial. And
Oh, absolutely. Especially
So-
after you won for that many goals.
well, this was before the game.
Oh, this was
Before the game. Yeah.
Oh.
So it was really cool to see that.
Apparently, it was the largest game they've ever had.
Yes, over
It was-
5,000
yeah.
people, the largest attended sporting event in Westchester County history, according to Westchester SC. So
Okay, yeah.
I did not fact check it, but it was a really cool time. I had a follow-up call with Westchester SC, just asking, like, how was your experience, critiques, pros, cons, all that. And, I was pretty honest with them. I thought overall the game was very well run. It didn't affect us because we got there early, but I think they were just overwhelmed at the gate and the vendors.
Can imagine, yeah.
Because even if you're selling all these tickets, you don't know if everyone's going to show up and when they're going to show up and how it's going to shake out. So
No, when you go,
The
when
third
you,
rail had some good
yeah,
showing.
yeah.
They were.
I think there were 600 tickets just through NYCFC
Oh, okay.
as away supporters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and to be honest, you have a lot of overlap between
Yes.
Westchester and NYCFC fans. It's a lot of times, if you're an NYCFC fan from Westchester, chances are you probably go to Westchester games also when
Absolutely.
they don't conflict. I did
pretty
complain about the PA announcer.
What happened?
It was yeah, it was
Subway style.
exactly. At one point, I said like,
cannot hear
"Oh,
what the guy said.
next up, Poughkeepsie." And it's a known problem. They're trying to sort it out, but I don't know if it's the PA system they have there or the announcer himself. But regardless, very well run, considering and I don't mean any of this disparagingly, like a semi-professional lower level team. I thought they nailed it in terms of the production of it. Using the stadium to the best of their ability, of the parking lot, or parking garage right across the street. Like it was very well done.
Oh, that's awesome.
In fact, I was talking to him about maybe coming back for another game and doing some more content for the podcast and for the channels. So that's something that we might be exploring.
I think they're still within 100 miles for
Oh,
sure.
without they're the outside of Hudson Valley Hammers, right up the street.
Closest
they are
one
our
to
closest team.
Yeah.
So
a couple of content, a couple of little special
and
episodes for them.
nothing can be released yet, but stay tuned for another event. Even these guys are like, wait, what?
Let's go.
Not a
Skibbity doobity doo.
not a tap room event, but we will be alongside AFC Bournemouth doing a little bit of a project. So that's all I can say right now.
tuned, huh?
Yeah. Diego and Nas are like, what are you up to? What are you up to?
Hey, I mean,
So, yes,
you know you do your
You can keep your secrets.
We'll talk.
You can
I
keep your
honestly, I wasn't going to say it, and then we started talking about other stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Let me leak some info.
Let me
Why not?
teaser.
Get a little clickbait going.
What are you guys doing?
Is that's what the kids call aura farming? Is it clout chasing?
Cloud chasing?
chasing.
Huh? Yeah. I mean, it might be a little bit. Yeah, it might be a little bit. Give yourself a little shine.
If I've got the info and I can use it to our advantage, then why not?
Amen to that, babe.
Anyway, let's. We are officially at halftime in Brentford Fulham. Scoreless there. So, 10 a.m. kickoffs. We have a few matches here that are in the relegation battle. and then a few huge matches at the top of the table, including. So 6 of the top 8 teams in the league are playing each other this weekend, including 1 versus 2, which we will talk about. Probably we'll close out the show with that because I think that's the appropriate way to do it.
Yeah.
But first up, Leeds United hosting Wolves, 15th place lead. So in my eyes, they are the quote-unquote top team that are still kind of in that relegation battle. They are 6 points above the drop right now. Home against Wolves. Wolves, after being relatively hot, middle third of the season,
taper down again.
Have come back down to earth a little bit, but they still have some fight in them.
But to be honest, it's funny. Out of all, as we are seeing right now in the last 5 games, out of all the bottom teams, they're the ones with the best.
Right. Yeah, they dug themselves down, such a hole that
they're not coming back out of that.
So, I think Leeds can and should take this. They are 3 matches unbeaten, 2 draws, and they won their last match against Manchester United. Mm-hmm. So, what do you guys think? Does Leeds have what it takes? Does this match? I mean, realistically, with the win, they are out of the relegation battle in my eyes.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Even if everyone below them also wins, it gets to a point where you're just running out of matches to catch up.
As long as everybody below them wins, except for Tottenham, we're good.
Well, I will reach out to my friends at Seagulls on Hudson and Stateside Seagulls to make sure that Brighton gets a big win over the Spurs.
Better get a big win. Yeah, Leeds got this, like you guys.
Yeah, I think so.
It should be all right. It should be just a transit game, hopefully.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So now a middle-of-the-table clash on the heels of a huge announcement that Andoni Iraola will be leaving the club at the end of the season, which to many was not a surprise.
No, it was about time. It's been a couple of years.
Yeah. And he not in a bad way. He would not negotiate to sign a new contract, etc. But Bournemouth travel to Newcastle United. Newcastle currently sitting 14th. Plenty of turmoil with them. They're trying to figure out if they keep Eddie Howe, former Bournemouth manager as well, and Bournemouth player. There's rumors of kind of moving around funding. The PIF, PIF? Is that what it's called? I'm trying to think. The investment fund. I believe it's PIF that owns Newcastle. Has since sold off one of its Saudi clubs. There's rumors of the funding of Live Golf. That they're going to stop doing that. So, lots of moving parts. Obviously, culturally and politically, what's going on in the world, with much of their income coming from gas and oil.
Yeah.
So we won't get into that, but lots of moving and shaking.
And maybe we should a little bit.
No, I don't want to.
It is affecting too many things.
I'm having a good morning with good coffee and good friends. I don't want to talk about the real world.
Agreed.
Let me just live in my bubble. Ignorance is bliss. Again, do we see, and Tyler Adams was interviewed on Men in Blazers the other day about it and said, him leaving makes me want to play harder for him. So is that, we talk about a new manager bounce. The farewell, the swan song, the farewell tour. Does it, help Bournemouth here?
Well, here's the other thing. I understand that Bournemouth already has somebody possibly lined up.
Yeah. By the way, we'll talk about that at length Monday. But
I'm also wondering, if Bournemouth can make it into European position, does that kind of make them a little bit more enticing to go to? Rather than if they're just in the middle of the pack.
Without a doubt. But I do want to point out, obviously, Bournemouth is not, much to my chagrin, but maybe they will be eventually. They're not a quote-unquote big club.
I mean, considering they're in the top 20 in England.
Oh, yeah, but you know what I mean. Marketability, they're not a cultural icon like an Arsenal, like a City, United, Chelsea, I hate to say it, even Spurs,
Spurs in name only.
But I do I do want to mention how and again, I'm looking at this through shaded lenses.
Ice, yeah.
But how smooth apparently this transition of coaches is
being right now. Yeah.
It's not a dumpster fire of who we're going to find, how we're going to do this. There's a 4-month period where we have an interim manager and all that.
Well, it's funny, but that's kind of like the way it works with.
Bill Foley and his executives with Tim Bezbachenko, Black Knight Football, the whole thing. I'm sure that they've been thinking about this for years now. The same way they do it with players. All right, who's player A, who's coach A, who's B, C, D, and they've got their identification on lock right now.
Well, I mean, everything looks easier when you're not in a bad position.
Right.
Obviously, Man United was in a terrible position when the whole Amram thing happened, right? So it looked worse on that. Nottingham Forest is at the bottom of the table in a relegation battle.
Yeah.
So everything looks terrible there. Spurs with their 3 managers.
Yeah, but I'm even talking.
It looks a lot worse, and it has worse complications when it comes to being in that. Right, Bournemouth's not in that position. Bournemouth can be like, hey, we're in a good enough position where we can say our coach is going to leave, and we're not floundering.
Yeah.
No, we don't. Still, the apparent, and by the way, none of this has been officially reported by the club, but all signs point to Marco Rosa, the former Borussia Dortmund manager, former Red Bull Leipzig manager, stepping in, and by many accounts, he is there already or waiting on work permits, but they're going to.
That transition is already.
They're going to have a nice hand.
He's going to be maybe not working side by side with Iraola, but
shadowing.
He's going to be in and around the facilities.
Well, that's the thing with Bournemouth. So it's not the first time in the past 3. Since we've been talking about it and covering their news and everything, they have changed once or twice.
No, this is it.
No, Iraola wasn't just coming in when we started covering.
Yeah.
And it was the same transition. It wasn't like it was a problematic thing. Bournemouth has the privilege, like Aaron was saying, to never have to change coaches in a crisis.
Right.
When they're doing bad.
We also, by the way, we don't know, even if Mark, I think he's a good manager for the style that they want to play, but we don't know. I mean, it could blow up in their faces. So, we'll see if that's the case. We'll see how October, November looks.
But
again, we're talking more about the transition and how, you said, how smooth it was. Yeah. Again, Klopp to Slot, right? Liverpool was in a good position. So transferring over to Slot, there was no rough issues, no rough around the edges, no sad to see him go, or not sad to see him go, but more he needs to leave now. We need a new coach. It was more hey, he's done what he can here, on to the next. Right. Which is the same thing what Iraola is doing. Again, he's been there. I think he's done as much as he can, and he's moving to
I mean, selfishly, or maybe not selfishly, for Iraola, I would have loved to have seen him
play in
Europe with Bournemouth, and still,
it would be a nice, recognition prize.
Right.
Finally, you brought him there.
But I think much in the way that Eddie Howe is still regarded at Bournemouth for keeping them safe, keeping them as a professional club when they were, when they needed that to stave off relegation.
Yeah.
And to bring them back to the levels that they were at. I think Iraola 30, 40, 50 years from now will, maybe build the statue, as they say. Build the statue for him right now. What he has done for the face of Bournemouth, in the face of losing Dom Solanke, losing Kepa, losing Kirkes, losing Houston, losing Zabarny, losing Semenyo. You lose all these players. Dango, Sinisterra is still on the club. He's just in South America. But, you lose all these guys, and they just keep on going. So back to our initial thought. Does Bournemouth get a farewell tour bounce here? Do they take it to Newcastle away from home? This is, I think, the furthest travel in the league.
I'm not going to lie. I don't know. Bournemouth is not losing. They're not winning.
Well, listen, they won last week. Didn't they? Didn't they, Naz?
They They're just playing to stay where they are right now. We've been talking about this, and like
they're an average club. They've drawn 15 times.
They've drawn. It's the way it is.
It's not even close. They're the second most is 12 draws.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the way it is. Like they are good where they are. Like you were talking about, the process is, ongoing. And I keep saying this: 3 more years, maybe you start competing on the top 10. Right now, where they are, from where they're coming from, it's perfect.
I will say, we talk about draws at the top of the table as, a season killer, but when you're in the middle of the table, those draws are important. And if you look at it, aside from Arsenal and City, first and second, they have the least losses in the league.
Yeah.
7 losses from 32 matches, level with Man United, who currently sit third.
Yeah,
so
is the subjectivity of where you are in respect of, the title chances.
Yeah.
You're on the top, you need to add more than one. You're in the middle, one is good enough. You know what I mean? So it's a good process. It was a great year for Bournemouth. Ups and downs. They started super strong. They kind of like fell off in the middle. They found their footing now. They're going to stay steady until the end, hopefully. They're going to stay in the 10th, 9th, which, again, like we talked about at the end of last year, beginning of this one, is above their expectations.
You say that they're only 3 points out of Europe.
Oh, no, everybody. Those 6 places are the craziest places.
They got some tough games coming up.
They do.
Yeah.
But again, I've always said this, back when Bournemouth was in second place, or at the tail end of last year, when they were within striking distance of Europe, you have it out in front of you.
Yeah.
If you want to be a European team, these are the games that you have to win. So here it is.
Is the growing pains.
Here's the food out in front of you. Do you take it? Do you eat it?
But if they don't, it's not that big of a deal right now. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
I agree.
Playing with house money is a privilege.
And I still think it's probably, maybe they're better equipped next season, but like I still think it's a little bit too early, just in terms of the depth of their squad, the sheer numbers of playing in Europe and at home.
Exactly.
Because we see it with, you look at teams like Forest. Obviously, Forest has a litany of other issues, but they're fighting on both fronts. We saw it with Brighton in the past. We've seen it with Villa a couple years ago, Newcastle. These teams struggle just in terms of the sheer numbers.
And that's what another thing that I was going to add. Sometimes getting there too early ruins the whole dynamic thing, because then you have to prioritize. Then what do you do? Then what do you tell your fans? You're not paying attention on the cup and on the European League that you just got into.
I did already tell my wife, if Bournemouth make it to Europe, I'm going to the first game.
You are going over there.
And I hope it's an away match. I want to travel the rest of Europe with Cherries fans. I think that would be a fun thing. As long as it's not again, I'll go either way, but Georgia or listen, the Arctic Circle in August is probably wonderful.
No, but I think it's too early. If they make it, it will be amazing. It will be like a dream come true for everybody in Bournemouth, but it's too soon. They need to stabilize themselves, get better personnel. They are literally a revolving door when it comes to talent. They are building up the money.
And here's the flip side of that. Sorry to interrupt you, but if they make it into Europe, do they keep more of those players instead of losing them to clubs with your other European aspirations? That's up to
Mr.
big
Foley's administrators to decide.
Well, here's the thing, though. It's not.
They're going to make it, though.
It's the PSR and balancing the books. That's why they're selling these players.
Exactly. So listen, they need to make that
Bill
money.
Bill Foley is worth over $2 billion.
But he can't spend $2 billion.
The league won't allow it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what it is.
Yeah.
So they need to, like we were talking about it. It's a lengthy multi-year process for you to build up enough equity so you can keep those players, so you can pay the marquee salaries that the players
that's why Petrovic is doing well, but that's why we couldn't keep Kepa after the loan spell. We wanted to sign him, but he would absolutely crush the wage bill.
And then you can't hire anybody else. Then you're done. So it's a process.
Yeah.
They are well on their way. They're steady paced right now. They're nowhere near the bottom, luckily, thank God, and those situations like that is what puts you back down there if you get yourself there too early.
Yes.
You're competing in two fronts, you're stretching your team. All of a sudden, you start losing on the Premier because you're focused on
right. No,
champions that you shouldn't.
You nailed it.
Worry about, you just go, so let's keep them there. Let's stay there 1 or 2 more years. Let's have faith. Believe in the process, as the Philadelphia fan says, But no, they're good. They're good. Win or lose, or lose, they will be fine. Let's finish this year strong. Enjoy what we got right now.
All right. Speaking of enjoying what we've got, Nas, do you want to talk about the next match?
Oh, of course.
18th place Tottenham hosting Brighton and Hove Albion. Wow, what a precipitous fall this has been for Spurs and their fan base. Every week I have like, and I'm not even a supporter, but it's like an existential crisis of like, they can't possibly be this bad.
Oh no,
like they can't keep losing. I look at their squad. I look at the quality of players. And they lose week in, week out, regardless of manager. It's wild.
I think this is the weekend that Tottenham has to realize that if they don't win, they've officially dug themselves a hole that they might not be able to get out of.
I don't think they can.
And that is a great point that I heard. I don't recall who it was.
Because if you look at it, you have Forest playing. You have Forest playing Burnley.
So,
which
theoretically, at home. So that should be a 3 points for Forest.
You have West Ham playing Palace. Palace is essentially safe. West Ham has been playing pretty well as of late.
Yep.
And Palace is still in Europe. So, they're at this point in the season, they're not focusing. They're not getting into Europe by way of their placement in the table. So, are they putting all their eggs in the European basket?
Yeah. Sure. So, essentially, you have the two people above you with what would hopefully be 3 points, making it 36 and 35. And if Tottenham lose, that's a game and a half out.
So the pundit that I was listening to, again, I apologize. I always try to give credit where credit is due. I don't recall who it was. I think it was on Sirius XM. But he said, Tottenham are in a real relegation scrap here, but none of their players have ever been there.
No, they don't know.
So there is a specific skill set. Like we joke around. You bring in like a Sean Dyche. You bring in Big Sam Allardyce. There are players and managers that know how to scrape out draws, play, route one football, 4-4-2, get the ball down the flank, get it back in, nick a header, and just take the 3 points
and
as ugly
walk away.
And that is not in the DNA of a Tottenham or Arsenal, City, United. Like those, they don't know that.
They also just lost Romero.
Yes, for the rest of the season.
And that's another player on the injury list.
Yeah.
Is Kinski available? I know he had that bad head injury.
It was right there. It said Kinski.
To be honest, it really doesn't matter. And you nail it. You nailed, you hit the nail in the head, as they say, with what you said. It's just, it doesn't matter what happens. They don't have the mental fortitude right now as a team.
Kinski is predicted to be the starter, so.
As a team, they don't have that mental strength. The coach doesn't have that, psychology in him to convince the players, hey, listen, we are in a very shitty spot right now. We're in a very tough situation, but we need to get through this. He doesn't have that motivational, kind of like leverage on the players. First of all, because he's brand new, so like he hasn't been with them through anything. None of the coaches has, and that kind of connection is what helps you in adversity.
Yeah.
Being connected that way, like you said, those coaches that scrap wins and just take what they got, those are the coaches that have been with the team through the process, that have the authority to tell them, hey guys, all we need to do is win. Yeah. Let's try to get these results.
I don't care what it looks like.
Exactly. I don't care. No. And that is the dysfunctionality of Tottenham, and that's what I saw, 10 weeks ago or whatever, when I started talking bad about him. A little to disparage, but not necessarily. To show a reality. You know what I mean? There is a disconnection that is so fundamental with those guys that it's just not going to get fixed. And I don't even think it's getting fixed next year. Like it's
I just got a coffee ground in my mouth.
It just literally is. It is one of those things that when they say in American sports, you gotta blow it up and rebuild it from zero. That is what's happening to Tottenham right now. It was a great 20-year run that they did.
Yeah, I can easily see at the same time, and I think we've mentioned it on the show before. Like, if Tottenham go down, I mean, they have to reinvent their whole squad because of the wage bill. I could easily see a scenario that they don't come right back up.
That's what
I mean, this could be a 5, 6, 7 year project of championship level football for Spurs in a brand new massive stadium.
Have you seen the memes?
Yeah.
Every single other team in the Champions League.
Championship.
The championship, I'm sorry. It is so excited.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
We get to play in London.
In London, dude.
I mean, and that's another point. Like, do the fans, not that they're going to leave, but like, I
mean, they're Tottenham fans. They're not loyal to anything.
Mm.
But, will the stadium be 20% full?
Yeah. I mean, it already is 20% full.
They are giving you the answer right now as they are. These games are happening. Bless you. Yeah, you've seen the attendance.
Yeah.
There is huge holes in that stadium.
Yeah. Well, they also like a lot of them leave at halftime, or in protest they show up and then leave.
Turn their backs.
So they do. So at least they paid the entrance.
All right. Ultimately, let's get off the fence here. Tottenham home against Brighton. What do we think?
I hope Brighton pull it out.
I know you hope, but with your head, I mean, I think Brighton has it.
I can't with my head right now because again, De Zerbi finally has 2 weeks with them.
Yeah.
You never know what he taught him. You never know what's going to happen. You never know. Like again, listen, if Pigmo wants Tottenham to be safe, I'm sure we'll see a little magic.
Oh boy,
yeah,
tinfoil hat over here.
Pulling a penalty or a red card, you never know.
I want to say it's a tie.
I don't think a tie saves them though.
Huh?
I don't think a tie.
No, it doesn't.
Certainly not.
Again, 2 wins from the guys above them, and that you're sitting at 4 points out. That's 2 wins you need to go.
And again, we're getting to the point where there's 6 matches left.
Oh no,
we're getting to the point where like, oh, that's okay. We'll get the next one. Well, no, guess what? We are at the next one. We're like,
exactly.
This is it.
And that's the thing. Like I said, yes, maybe even the league team will hide on myself as well. Maybe the league doesn't want them to get relegated. It's just they don't have what it takes to beat Brighton, but Brighton doesn't really have too much to beat Tottenham with. That's what I'm saying, a tie. Because I know the referees are going to have a little bit of a hand in there, or let's not say I know. I think that there might be some refereeing at hand, clouding the situation. But even with that, Tottenham doesn't have enough.
Well, we will find out at 12:30 Eastern, right upstairs for the watch party for sure.
Listen, I know that we say tinfoil hat when it comes to leagues and stuff like that, but
it's a scripted.
But you got to understand that it's not just this league, but pretty much any league in the world.
Yeah. Every league.
You have seen decisions made throughout the league that have gone in the direction of what's best for the league.
It is it's not just that. It's because I don't like the thought of thinking the referees are quote unquote in on it.
It's not just the refs. It's not just it could be everybody. It's not just the refs. It could be anything from schedule. Right. Strength of schedule. It could be something such as in the NBA. Technically, the lottery is random, but you've seen it where one of the best teams to get a chance at getting that number 1 pick takes 4th. Yeah. And then the team that's got one of the star players that's growing through the league takes 1st, and all of a sudden can now get another pick for another star player. And it's like you got to start thinking, at what point does the league start thinking, okay, what's best for our wallets? Yeah. And with Tottenham being a top 6 team, is it technically better for Pigmo's wallets for Tottenham to stay in? You never know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Those are. It is a business at the end, man.
Again, you'll see it when they clear Man City of all their charges. You'll see it.
Yeah. Either
40 for 40, baby.
I think 3 points for Brighton here, and Tottenham continue their suffering. Moving on to the late game today, Chelsea hosting Man United. Chelsea currently sit in sixth
Killing me,
place,
bro.
although they have lost 3 straight in the league.
Exactly. They're killing
Man U,
Man U's in a better position than Chelsea.
in third, winless in their last 2, including losing to Leeds last weekend.
I gotta say, the top 6 looks worse than the next 6 down.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
7th through 12th have been having a better part of the season than the top 6.
Right.
Yeah. They're giving out so much point in the top of the league, so much ground that is crazy. I mean, they build up the advantage at the beginning of the season, but if that wasn't the case, we would have an assault of the mid-table.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, you have, let's see, 1, 2, 3 teams are unbeaten in their last 5. Second place, Man City. 7th place, Brentford. And 11th place, Bournemouth.
Everybody.
Well, just look at the losses amongst the top 6. 1, 2, 3,
I know,
4, 5,
yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 losses in the top 6.
Yes.
Opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, you look
in
at
the next 12.
even
6.
so, Villa had a 3-match losing streak. Chelsea is currently on a 3-match losing streak. Those are 2 teams
Yep.
in the top 6. It's
It also just proves that again you can't win 5 games in a row. Like the having a
The United
consecutive
trend.
consecutive 5 games of good results is very hard
It's super
in the league.
difficult. Oh, absolutely. Especially
very
the way
hard.
it's set up right now.
Yeah, the United Strand curse of no 5 wins.
My boy.
Even Brighton, right? Brighton has that loss right in the square of theirs.
When that happens, there will be a new fan walking into this bar.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm cutting my hair too.
Well, that's if United takes second, right?
And that's if United takes second or wins 5 in a row. That'll be my reward to myself.
Oh boy.
And my daughter's gonna be so mad at me.
Well, just give her the hair. Here.
Here, build a wig, baby.
There you go.
Extension.
All right, but in all reality, what do we think? Chelsea, Man United. This is at Stamford Bridge.
I think it's a chance for United to turn it around.
They should. And
Well,
I
and
want
by the
them
way,
to.
this is one of our predictions for the weekend. So we will give you exact scoreline thoughts later in the show.
Yep. But no, I want Man City to win. That's all.
Man U.
I can say.
Man U.
Man U to win.
Listen, I told you, I think Chelsea's going to get karma for their previous game.
Yeah.
Look again. They are how many points out of people below them? Again, Everton wins, Brighton wins. They now jump Chelsea, and they're in the running for England.
Yeah.
And Chelsea's on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Again, this is what they get.
All right, let's catch. Let's jump over to tomorrow. The 9 a.m. kickoff times. By the way, these are all Eastern time. We already spoke about Forest and Burnley. That is, 16th place Forest hosting 19th place Burnley. We all, I think, agree. We think Forest will take
Or it should
Hopefully.
take it. Yeah.
the 3 points there. The other one of the other 9 a.m.s is Aston Villa in 4th place, hosting Sunderland in 10th place. Sunderland have won 3 out of 4.
Could go either way.
Yep. Especially again, Villa is still in Europe.
Villa's starting to look like their previous selves.
Yep.
There you go. And that makes me happy. Again, I don't know why.
They're villains.
They're the villains.
They're the villains.
They're the villains.
So Unai Emery has got them clicking in Europe. They've had although they are in 4th place, but
all 3 teams
Yeah,
in Europe
yeah.
right now that are bottom teams are good.
Yeah.
Well, the Villa, Palace won, and Forest won.
right. So
Yeah. Sunderland wins for me.
okay.
I hope.
Yeah. No, I mean Sunderland's
Let's go. Yep.
put together quite a good season. I heard. Again, I believe this was on Sirius XM. If Everton or Sunderland make Europe, that pundit, who again I don't recall what pundit it was, but said you have to give that manager of the year, regardless of whether it's Arsenal winning, going to Arteta, or if Man City pull this off, giving it to Guardiola.
No.
They think if Everton or Sunderland make it into Europe,
I mean,
or Bournemouth for that matter,
That's a hell of a campaign, dude.
you have to recognize that manager for, with the budgets they have, or in Everton's case, the resurgence after years of mediocrity, to lift themselves back into relevance. So,
Most improved.
yep. At any rate, speaking of Everton, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Yes.
A Merseyside derby.
Yeah,
This is the
beautiful.
first Merseyside derby at Everton's new ground, Hill Dickinson Stadium. For the first time in a long time, actually, at least this late in the season, Everton are within striking distance of Liverpool. There's a 5-point gap between the two. What do we think?
I want Everton to win.
I have no faith in Liverpool. To be honest with you,
Listen,
I just don't.
Listen, I think Everton's playing well now, and again, it's just going to prove that those bottom European spots are up for grabs.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's going to make it so much more exciting for
For
all
what
of
it's
us.
worth, I do believe Isak will be back in the lineup.
Oh, yeah?
But they've lost Ekitike to a torn knee ligament. So, or no, Achilles. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, the one thing I kind of like was a little content about or excited about was that Salah was kind of playing decently.
Yeah.
But that went away again. So, yeah, no faith for Liverpool. Everton wins at least by 2, I want to say. It's crazy.
All right, so let's throw the script out and kind of jump back and forth here a little bit. Obviously, the late game tomorrow is Man City Arsenal, which, as you can imagine, is the third of our 3 predictions. So let's go right to the predictions now. Let's talk about how we did last week. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So last week, we predicted Borussia Dortmund versus Bayer Leverkusen, Chelsea, Man City, and Como versus Inter Milan. So 3 matches, 3 different leagues. None of us fared particularly well. Perhaps most of all was Diego with 0 points last week.
Yeah, baby, back to the way it's supposed to be.
Nas grabbed 2 points. He correctly picked a Man City win and an Inter Milan win.
Yep.
So he got those 2. No goal scorers, no correct scores. I got the Dortmund match wrong. I correctly picked a Man City win. And I thought Como Inter would be a draw, but I did get Thuram as the goal scorer. So I had 3 points, Nas with 2, Diego with none. And as it shakes out, Diego in third with 105 points. I'm in second, 136. Right on the heels of Nas with 139. Yep. So a 3-point gap as we are, as far as our predictions go, into squeaky bum time. Yep. And let it be known, if you're a relatively new listener, Diego we've given Diego a side prediction of if United finish in second place, he gets 40 points. Yep. So
need to keep it close.
It is, at least without the intervention of the FA, looking highly unlikely at this point.
40-40, baby. It's happening.
I mean, listen, they're only 9 points behind.
Yeah, I mean, mathematically it's possible.
Yes. They just got to stop freaking losing, man. Come on, man.
Well, you'll be a big Arsenal fan then this weekend. So
no.
This weekend we have
all the way, baby.
The first match that we will predict is Chelsea-Manchester United. I have Chelsea winning at home 2-1 with a goal from João Pedro. Diego, what about you?
I have United winning 3-2 and Mbuemo goal.
Mbuemo goal. And Nas?
I have United winning 3-1 with a Casemiro goal.
All right. And we will stay with Nas here. Merseyside Derby tomorrow morning. What do you got?
2-1 Everton with a Beto goal.
Okay. And Diego?
Yeah, I wanted to be neutral, so I'm going to do 0-0 tie.
Scoreless draw, no goal scorers. I have Everton 2-1 with an NGI goal. Now, we get to the big one of the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
First against second for what seems like the 8th time this year.
For Arsenal, yeah.
This is at the Etihad, so Arsenal travel to Manchester to play Manchester City. Pep Guardiola is on record as saying if Manchester City do not win, the title race is over.
Yeah, he can say whatever he wants.
But
there's still 5 games to go.
Yeah, I mean, I do think realistically,
there's still 5 games to go. I'm tired of people saying the league is not won with 5 games to go and 6 points separating.
No, it's
the league is over when the trophy is lifted. I'm tired of people saying the league is over, that we won this, we've lost this. Shut up.
Yeah.
People need to shut up and wait till the end of the season.
Yeah.
If Arsenal win this match and have a 9-point lead with 5 matches to go, that is, in my eyes, as close as you can until it's official.
United bottled it with 8 things in 6 games ago. Like, that's how it is.
So, here we are. Diego, what do you think? Regardless of the score predictions, what is your feeling here for Arsenal City?
This is a very important match, not league defining, but incredibly, incredibly important. This is the one that, you kind of like take home and say, we could have won here, we could have lost there. This is one of those that pundits are going to talk about for the next 5 weeks. Whichever way it goes.
You're right.
They'll talk about it for the next year.
Yeah. Whichever way it goes, this is going to be the one. City loses, Arsenal loses, whoever loses is going to get reamed out in the comments everywhere.
Yeah,
all the socials.
Does tend to be pretty rare to have the two teams competing for the title playing each other this late in the season. So
usually because it's either defined already with fives, somebody's like 20
or
points
they're just
ahead.
playing other teams.
Scheduling.
Yeah. I agree with that 100%. But yeah, this is that match. Results. Yep. Whatever happens, this is more for every single one of us right now. This one, like you said, there is a little bit of difference in points. There is the storyline of one team having games in hand over the other. There is all these little nuances that are happening. So it's not the league defining. It's not whoever wins out the league.
This is an important game.
But it is super, super important.
Right.
Yeah,
the momentum will be in the hand of who wins.
Literally.
Right.
There you go. That's
if
what I
it
was
draws,
looking for.
the momentum stays.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, other than that, it's a match.
By the way, I do think
it's a marquee match.
From an Arsenal standpoint. If you go to the Etihad with where the table is, with how few games are left in the season, if you said, Mikel Arteta, you can have a draw right now, I think you take it. I think that's a great result away from home.
I think it's the same thing with Guardiola. I think Guardiola would rather take a draw here and finish the rest of the games out.
So, do we think that affects the way the match is going to be played today?
Do we think both teams? They gotta go for the win.
No, I'm just throwing it out there.
I mean, it could. Again, there's City with 5 games, 6 games, and Arsenal with 5 games after this. So it doesn't matter.
Here is the deal with that. Yes, it can be possible. Yes, both of them may won the tie. The problem is the fan bases right now are very on edge. Both of them.
Right.
City and Arsenal. Arsenal just came out. And I saw that. I didn't see the actual comments and everything, but I've seen little 1 minute clips on TikTok and all that stuff. And the biggest complaint for that Arsenal match, which honestly I don't know because I didn't watch it, my bad, but it was the attitude. So if you come out again with that same attitude, that might be when you get yourself into trouble if you don't show the desire to win it. So that's the only thing. Other than that, it's again a match. It's a very important match, yes, but it's a match that they both have to focus on. And again, I have my own result here that I predicted. Hopefully that happens, but it will be tight. It will be hard fought, and I think it will be coming down to the last few minutes.
All right. Well, you said it right there. Call it out. What is your prediction?
1-0. Just a very tight late goal.
A penalty to Jokic.
So Jokic penalty score.
It's
That's
funny.
what I'm calling it.
On the way in here this morning, he wanted to say Owen. Owen goal.
I did.
Owen goal.
I did. I thought it was going to be Owen.
And I said, listen, if you wanted to predict it, I don't need the Man City player that's going to do it. I'll take it. But
I was going to write it down, but I came to my senses.
All right. Naz, what about you, the Arsenal fan here?
I think it's going to be an ugly game, in honesty. I think we're going to see 2 sides of these teams that we don't want to see.
Right.
I have a feeling it's going to be very scrappy. I think there's going to be some hard tackles. I think there could be a red card or 2 in this game. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw at the end of the game.
Right. I agree all the way up until
I think we're going to see some nastiness amongst the...
Oh, it's going to be rough.
Yeah. No, I think that's very savvy. I think, matches like this, whether it's, late in the season or a cup final or a cup semi, they rarely ever live up to
All the
fireworks that we want.
Yeah.
And when I say fireworks, I mean not in the sense of like hard tackles and red cards, but like stellar play and beautiful goals and open, free flowing.
A
like
5-4 match.
Yeah. It's always, the tactical fouls because you don't want to concede like the momentum within the match of 4 or 5 string passes together.
100%.
He's running down the flank. All right, well, let me grab him, take him down.
Baller player.
Yeah. So I do think, in that similar sense, it is a scrappy, cagey chess match. I do think in front of the home crowd, Man City take it 2-1 with a Ryan Cherokee goal. That being said, I still think, with my result in my head, I still think Arsenal win the league, but that's what I think for tomorrow's match.
Yeah, very, very valid points, all of us.
So that is going to do it for us. Look at that. We are just under an hour, spot on. Let's see. Still scoreless in Brentford against Fulham in the 76th or 78th minute? 78th minute. So, that's going to do it for us. We will, if you're local, we'll see you upstairs in the tap room for the watch parties.
Yeah.
We have Newcastle, Bournemouth at 10, Tottenham, Brighton at 12:30, Chelsea, Man U at 3, and then tomorrow the Merseyside Derby at 9 a.m., followed by Manchester City, Arsenal, 11:30 a.m.
Any MLS tonight?
No, they're home tonight. NYCFC is home tonight. So, I mean, you could put the game on, but
if anybody wants to watch
it's not an organized watch party.
We don't have any events tonight, so I think I'm just going to run either that or the playoffs.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see what we've got for the MLS schedule tonight. I believe you have. Oh, so Red Bulls have an early game, but we'll have Chelsea, Man U anyway.
Philly.
Yeah. New York is home against Charlotte, 7:30 p.m. That match is at Citi Field for the home fans. So you will be traveling to Queens.
So I might just do the Philadelphia one.
Wait, you mean it's not Yankee Stadium?
Nope.
They alternate.
No. This is at the Met Stadium, Citi Field.
They alternate.
So when the Yankees have a home stand, they go to Queens.
Oh, okay.
They have to switch.
Weird.
Up.
So
I didn't know that until somebody told me, and I was like, wait. So you technically have 2 stadiums?
Yes.
I was mind blown a little bit. I was like, that's
everything's bigger in New York City. You know?
Everything is. It ain't Texas, but it is bigger.
So that will do it for us. Please give us a like, subscribe, share on Twitch and on YouTube.
Yeah.
Give us a follow on Instagram. Check out all our updates. Plenty of new content coming out. If you want to join our mailing list or you have any inquiries about any of our events, you can visit cdunewburgh.com or email me at dave@cdunewburgh.com. And I didn't even mention this earlier, but great jersey, Nas. The inaugural
finally came in.
Yes.
The inaugural Streets kit has arrived. It arrived, I believe, I'm trying to think what day is it now. It arrived Thursday. They were taking inventory of everything Thursday, Friday. For those of you that are having it shipped, packing slips have been printed and they are being mailed out a combination of today and Monday.
Very nice.
So you should be seeing that shortly in your mailbox. For those of you that are doing in-house pickup, I am working on just setting up a date for that, and then obviously, if you can't make that date, we'll make other arrangements for you.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned. It came out as I expected. Great quality, looks good, feels good, and that's another thing that we've got on the horizon. The summer kit that we're going to be designing. So. Thank you again to BLR Athletic, and looking forward to more kits with them. So
thank you very much, guys.
Thanks. Have a great day, and we'll see you either in the tap room today or tomorrow, or right here again Monday evening for a soccer fan walks into a